Slava Isusu Christo. Dear friends, we come here today to remember. That's an awful important word, remember. Because what is remembered brings it into the present time. So I remember, it comes back. It comes back. So what we remember here today, as we began our conduct headed down here, look at this crowded church, the census that are here. There are millions of people here with us. Could you hear their voices in the background while the choir was singing Hospitable Melon, Hospitable Melon, Hospitable Melon? Their voices are there. And what happened back in 1932, 33, and through those years, it begins to be the now, and we remember. This past week and a half, I was asked to put something into our parish bulletin here on the family. And another one, genocide. And I come from a people who suffered a famine too, my ancestors. They want to talk about it. It's a remarkable thing. If I could bring in the Irish people, don't talk about it. It's just too horrible. The famine. Shh, don't talk about it. So I sat down and I'm thinking over the office, this is not just a famine. There was another word that was used. Genocide. I went to the dictionary to look up that word, genocide, and it has this chilling thing about it. It's the systematic destruction of a people or a nation. Systematic, which brings in not just a bad time, hard times, but now there's something evil about this. Systematic. It's well planned out. It's well figured out. It's had its leaders. And how are we going to destroy these people? So this word famine, bigger than that, friends. We're talking about genocide. The systematic killing of millions of people. I sat down and I read about it. You know, I heard about it, read about it, think about it, but I actually sit down for a day to sit down and read the awfulness of what these millions of people experienced. Systematic, planned out, suffering people. And where's God in all of this? Sometimes we talk about our people over here in the gulags of Siberia. Where's God there? God is there. God is there behind the barbed wire. God is there in the gulags. God is there suffering with his people. We have a God who can suffer with us, who can cry with us, and to starve with us. There's where God is. Those are historic facts. There's plenty of them now. We never heard about them. I never did. College years, university years, all the history. You never heard about the genocide of Ukrainian people. It's the crime that's hidden by our own government. Other governments too, but here in the United States, it's not the political thing to talk about. We're about ready to recognize the empire that has systematically killed off these people we don't want to offend. So it's kept out of the papers. There's one newspaper writer at that time said, never happened. Keep it quiet. Shh, we don't want to talk about it. Sit down and I thought, you know, there is something in the Word of God about this. I've talked about that here this morning. We have in the Bible a very short book. It comes after the prophet Jeremiah. It's called the Lamentations. It's never used in church services. Kind of interesting. It's been avoided. And when the commentary said, because it's so awful a cry, we want to hear about it. I sat down and read it. It was the cry of Jeremiah as he was seeing his people in their genocide and starvation. The book, very short, is described as a scream of pain, of unspeakable horror going on in front of someone. And I took out of there for ourselves to think about here this morning 2 phrases. All you who pass by this way, stop, see. Is there any sorrow like my sorrow? That's the cry. It's a cry of people who are starving. This is a cry of people who are in such awful suffering. And this is what we respond to today. That we stop, we listen, we remember that there is no sorrow like the sorrow of the famine and genocide. See, O Lord, our distress. This was the second line from it. See, O Lord, our distress. And I like to think that as a cry of the people to God and perhaps to us also. See, O Lord, our distress. Be here with us. See, O people here in our community so many years later, that we see their distress also. And we're moved and we're distressed by it. But it's the poem we sing, the eternal memory. We keep the eternal memory alive of an unspeakable crime, so hidden, but we remember. And we remember the people, and they are here with us now. Slava Susa.